The consultants told us prior to the referendum that a multi-story building with a pitched roof similar to the Pearson School building design was the most energy efficient and lowest maintenance building design. They specifically said that a school building with multiple flat roofs was a high maintenance design that should be avoided. And her question is, or their question is, what does the new proposed school design not look like the Pearson School? Yes, ma'am.
I'm wondering if you saw the original preliminary conceptual design that the voters voted on and what you think might have been, I guess, wrong with it, because this is actually a lot different than what we saw. And we all understand that you weren't going to draw that, but that seemed to solve a lot of the issues, and this kind of seems like just a puzzle put together. And I guess another piece of my question would be, as an architect who, you know, what would you sort of hang your hat on as if you were driving along Killingworth Turnpike? What about the front of that, to you as an architect, somebody who drew it and would be proud of it, what gives it character? What part of that front do you think gives it character that would give our town character?
From someone whose children are going to attend this high school one day, I truly appreciate it, so thank you. I do feel as though I need to reiterate my concern with the matching roof lines, which has been a concern with the old building, and I'm still concerned that I'm seeing the same thing again here, and I just wanted to talk or hear about how are these matching roof lines different from the old Morty building.
Carol?
I have a couple of questions here. So we're going from 24 roofs to 10 roofs there, correct?
10 roofs, yes.
Is my understanding that some of those roofs are flat?
Low pitched.
Low pitched. Is that flat? I mean, are there two sides to it? Is it going to reflect, I mean, is the snow going to melt off of those, or are we going to wind up in the same situation 10 years from now? Because that was a big selling point on that original plan. And I would like to go back to the original question of whether to build a new school or not. We were presented a plan for 50.
Well, let me answer the question about the roofs first.
Wait a minute, because I'm going to go back right to the beginning. We were told that the state would help us with a 112,000 square foot school, and it would be $50 million total cost. The town approved a referendum of a 135,000 square foot school because two non-negotiable items were 2 gyms and a full-size auditorium, and the town approved the additional funds to pay for that.
Right, our budget is 65.
But now we're not getting that. Now we're not getting the 2 gyms.
Well, we are. These gyms are the same. The gym itself is the same size gym that we proposed in the conceptual design that David Thompson.
The 2 gyms were a total of 16,000 square feet. And there was an additional 7,000 square feet for lockers, etc. Do you have a figure for that gym?
No, I don't, Carol, but it's our understanding.
Apples to apples is what I'm trying to
I know, and I understand what you're asking. I don't have the exact figures, but I know that in this design, we have the same size gym, to my knowledge, that we had in David Thompson's design.
So it's not 2 complete full gyms like we had here. We are not going to have that in the 135,000
It's one gym. It's one gym that can be broken into 2 full-size gyms. And that's what we talked about with the conceptual design.
Well, when we talked about approving a much larger, much more expensive school, the item that a lot of people had in mind that they were voting for were 2 complete intact gyms. All right, so moving on. To me, the first plan that we saw that was essentially, the figure 8 basically was what it was, the original plan, looked extremely efficient, small footprint. It had character. I mean, he referred to it as the tobacco barn. It had character. It brought something to the table. It enhanced the aspect of Clinton. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it in this. To me, this is like the little brother of this school. It's angles, it's corridors, it's partitions, and it looks, frankly, like a maintenance nightmare. And you're getting all these roofs back. You've got many feet of exterior areas that need to be maintained, very similar to what we have here. How is that gonna, I mean, I'm just not seeing how that plan is, and believe me, I have nothing but the highest regard for all the work that this committee came in, put in. And I know this is arriving at a conclusion that everybody agreed was the best way to go, but it's just not at all what we were presented with a year ago.
Correct. It's very different. And there are some reasons that we went over and we discussed with both construction managers and architects as to why that design that we looked at earlier would have some issues. So we are with this design now.
Well, tell me what this is going. What character is that structure that we saw going to bring to the town? I mean, this is similar to what Valerie was saying. That, you know, that first building with the tobacco barn aspect and the sloped roofs and the green and the brick and the smoke glass, it captured your attention. But I'm just not feeling that with this building.
Okay, I understand your concern, and there's work that has to be done, Carol. Okay, and I think you'll notice some changes in the future.
Okay.
All right.
I think part of what might help with that confusion is answering the architect's, I'm sorry, I wasn't here in the beginning, so I don't know your name, but when you said that the structure that was put forth before the referendum, why that was inefficient compared to what you have designed, and maybe if you answered where it was inefficient might help us understand why this design is better and more efficient.
Well, it was slightly less efficient. I have to say that the approach that we are taking is not the same as the approach that was taken in the previous design. The previous design was one very large mass. This breaks up the school into pieces that are smaller in scale. We are at a stage in the design where the kind of comments that we are receiving are very important to us in terms of understanding how to move the design forward. So it's very, very interesting to me to hear what you had to say, and I appreciate it.
I think you can appreciate, though, when you use words like broken up, I don't know if you know the pain we've been through, but we feel as if that's the school we're in now. It's a very broken up school, and so that's kind of why I think people are having this reaction.
I know what you're talking about, and I think that next time you see the drawings that they are a lot more along the lines of what you do.
All right. I'll talk to my boss. See, they install that true code at the factory. There's nothing we can do. But I'll talk to my boss.
These guys here, these guys, it's always the same. It's always more.
You going to the Gophers on Sunday?
Oh, you betcha.
You wouldn't have an extra ticket.
You kidding?
Well, he never done this before. But seeing as it's special circumstances and all, he says I can knock $100 off that true code.
100. You lied to me, Mr. Lundegaard. You're a bald-faced liar.
Okay, please.
A fucking liar.
Okay, please.
Where's my goddamn checkbook? Let's get this over with.
Yours?